audio source, streaming, and 2 speakers. That's it. Everything's in here, meaning all DA conversion, amplification. Each driver has its own amplifier on the left and the right. On the left you have 4 DA converters, on the right you have 4 DA converters. And the 4 DA converters is done actually to have the most accurate reproduction of sound as possible. If you have 1 DA converter for taking care of all frequencies, actually you have crosstalk in the power supply lines. With the separate DA conversion, you're also able to actually, the high section, mid and the low sections, to create the cardioid dispersion. That's also part of the design philosophy of the system. What is cardioid dispersion? Basically, from 50 Hz and up, all frequencies go to the front. On the back side here, you have a cancellation of sound. When you have a normal conventional speaker, it actually sends out sound energy around the speaker. That's why, if you look in other rooms, the speakers are positioned easy over here, this distance from that back wall. Meaning you have to cancel this reflection before it actually comes to your ear. So if you position it over here, the reflected sound will be way later in your ears than the direct sound, so you won't have any hindrance. But in a lot of modern living rooms, you're not able to put the system over here. So there's already the trade-off, right? You have to maybe 1 meter out, and then you still have an easy 6 dB on your low end, and you have to take care of all that stuff. We don't think that's necessary, because everything is emitted to the front, and below 50 Hz, you can actually go into the brain of the system and lower this part of below 50 Hz, because there it's omnidirectional, to the level on your listening position to your liking. So you can increase or decrease this low end level. Also regarding the mids and the highs, you can also increase or decrease certain sections of the mid frequencies, high frequencies. You can take off a few dB or you can add a few dB. So you can have presets with this setting inside for maybe for yourself or your partner in the same room. So when your partner listens to music and she or he likes more bass, she can make a preset with this more bass for herself or himself. And for yourself, maybe a different response, you can do that. You can store it inside the computer.
Where that's controlled on the app for the streamer or what?
You only have an IR remote.
Okay.
And that's for volume and channel selection, and all the basic settings you do in the key control unit. So the cardioid dispersion is one, but also the time coherence. Since you're able to play with this whole dispersion, you can also play with the time coherence of the system. Meaning that all frequencies enter your ear at the same time. And you would think, well, okay, that normally that's the case, right? In the passive speaker, no. Because the tweeter is a way faster membrane than a mid-range or a woofer. So the high frequencies leave the cabinet earlier than the mid and the low frequencies. And you're able to control that in a very accurate way over here. And especially with the female vocal and some acoustic instruments, which strike a large part of the low, mid, high section, you can hear this time alignment very accurately. Sometimes with nails across snares and stuff like that, that's in the mids, and then you have the snare itself, it's in the low, and the whole box of the guitar is also the low end. So, and that needs to be time aligned, because if you have, for instance, a crossover frequency of 200 Hz, and you have, in that area, you have time differences, that's on that frequency, that's an easy 5 milliseconds. So, and you will hear this. And by a smear in the sound, there is no accuracy. So, in this system, it's all incorporated, basically. So, in a nutshell, it's a very complete system and very flexible and easy to fit in any kind of listening environment.
Is it supplied with some kind of measuring device?
No, it's not supplied. It's all the design is fixed inside the system, the technology actually. You're able to measure, of course, in your own living room at your listening position. If you take, for instance, Room EQ Wizard, that's free software you can download, and you can use this. They have a pretty nifty calibrated USB microphone. You can put it on your listening position, and then you can measure the left channel and you can measure the right channel, and both channels together, and make it actually to your liking. And then you can exactly see where's your room mode and stuff, and what you need to compensate if you want to. Yes.
I've tried that, it takes forever.
Yeah.
Then I bought a box with direct in it. Have you any experience with that?
Not myself, but I know, for instance,